Hey team, so I'm going to just walk you through a quick screen recording of the new task in LinkedIn, right? So we have the task number 2 here, and the goal is to try to add as many second connections as you can. So you went through and I gave you 100 of my connections, and then you were able to add some of them, and now you probably all have between 40 plus connections. So you should use those connections to add more connections. So you're going to go after their second connections to be able to get you to that 100 goal of having 100 connections on your LinkedIn. So same thing, we're going to try to add people. We're going to track it. We're going to send them a scripted message. You can use your own version of this. And then we're also going to record the result. So to do this, though, we're not going to use the main tab, which you've been using. You're going to take data from this, and then you're going to use it on your own tab. So I created a tab for each of you on the bottom of the spreadsheet. And so the first row is already filled out in an example. So if you go back and you look, for example, Ali, at Ariane Fairbanks is somebody that you added to your friends list. And so I just copied the data from this over to here, right? So Ariane, the profile name, does he have a profile pic? Posted the last 9 months, his current role. So I cut and paste some of the data. Some of the data, though, that like these here that I'm highlighting are new data points that you have to encode based on your assessment. So what you're going to do is follow this assessment thing, right? So use your task, right? Encode connections. You want to make sure you encode all of your connections that you've added from this first tracker, right? So anybody that you've added, you should move or copy them over to your tab and fill this up. And then once you fill this up with all your current connections, then you want to start looking at their connections. But before you do that, you want to make sure they're a good lead. So you want to ask yourself some questions. So you're going to ask, do they have a profile pic? Have they posted anything in the past 6 months? Are they in a management leadership position? And are they in the Philippines? If it's yes to all 4, then you'll use them to mine their connections. If it's a no on any of these 4 things, then it's not worth our time. We're going to move on to other people. So the idea is that when you open someone's profile, you can answer these questions pretty quickly, right? So first of all, do they have a profile picture? Yes. If they don't have a profile picture, they're not really serious about being on LinkedIn. 2, have they posted in the last 6 months? This guy hasn't posted yet, right? So hasn't posted, same job 7 years. He's probably an old profile that's not being used. So we're not going to move on with him. Does he have a job title that's a senior person? Yes, but leadership management's not in the job title. Doesn't look like that he's a boss of anybody. So we only want bosses of people. And then also we want to look and see what it is if he's in the Philippines, right? So of course he is. So he gets 3 out of 4, right? So did not post in the last 6 months. So we're not going to mine Ariane's friends. If we go to this one for Karine, so Antonio is one of the ones that you, Karine, got from here, right? And I just copied over the data. Now we're going to do an assessment of this guy, Antonio. And so profile pics, yes. Posted in the last 6 months, yes. Posted in the last 4 months, good. Is he in a experienced position? Yes. Is he a boss? Doesn't look like it. Engineer, supervisor, yeah. So he's a boss, right? So he's managed people, and he's in the Philippines, right? So we'll go ahead and we encode this on the tracker for Karine. Profile pic, yes. Posted in the last 6 months, yes. Leadership position, yes. In the Philippines, yes, right? So he meets our requirement. So now we're going to mine his friends, right? So Antonio has 500 connections. You click on it and you can see them, right? So the ones that say second connections, and you can do this to just get second connections, right? So I just unclick the first. So all you see is second connections. You can start trying to connect to these people, right? So pick 10 a day or so, to connect with. Look at their titles, see if they're going to pass your assessment. Are they in the Philippines? Is there a profile pic? Have they posted something recently? Are they in a leadership position? Connect to those people. And when they accept your connections, then of course you add them back on this list. Does that make sense? It should, right? So you're building up this list. You also can send them DMs and start having conversations. But the goal here is to build your list to get this tab to be 100, right? So we want to fill this up based on who you started with on the connection requests here, right? The ones that you've added. And then the friends of the friends, basically the connections, the second level connections, you want to keep mining that until you have on your individual tab here 100 connections. Make sense? If you have any questions, go ahead and drop a question in the GC on Facebook. This video, I'm obviously you're watching it because I posted the link there. Let me know if you have any questions, but this should keep you busy for the next week or so, right? You should be able to mine your connections. And every time you add somebody here, then you can mine their connections. And you also want to capture their email address. Last thing, right? So if you go here to contact info, you can see their email address. If they have an email address, then you just cut and paste it and drop it here. So we can do an email campaign, which I'll teach you in a couple weeks. All right, cool. Thanks a lot for your time. Now get out there and be awesome.